Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be presenting on the topic modified control charts. The outline of our presentation is as follows. We'll be talking about introduction to modified control charts, how to obtain control limits. Also, we'll be seeing an example of usage and some application and points to note. So, let us start with introduction to modified control charts. So, what are control charts? Control charts are statistical process control tool used to determine if a manufacturing or business process is in a state of control. Commonly used control charts are X bar chart, R chart, and S chart, etc. Control charts are mostly designed to monitor parameters of an ongoing process when the form of the process distributions are known. Some control charts only apply to specific situations like modified control charts, moving average control chart, etc. They can analyze the patterns in a similar way to that of a commonly used control charts. The special situation in which this type of control chart is considered is the one in which the probability of capability is greater than 1. The figure depicts the situation. The specification limits are not placed on X bar control charts. The reason for this is that the specification limits correspond to conformance of individual items. For a modified control charts, however, the specification limits are placed. The focus is not on detecting the statistical state of control because a process can drift out of control and still produce parts that conform to specifications. Our aim in constructing a modified control chart is to determine whether the process mean mu is within certain acceptable limits such that the proportion of non-conforming items does not exceed the chosen value delta. Now, Mihir will be talking about what are the limits of a modified control charts.
Thank you, Yagyan. Now, I would like to discuss about how to obtain the limits of a modified control charts. Now, our objective in this presentation is related to putting limits on the process mean mu such that the proportion of non-conforming items is restricted to delta. Now, in the process of arriving to the expression for control limits of a modified control chart, it is necessary for us to highlight some important considerations that we need to make. First thing is that in this type of control chart, we are having CP is much greater than 1. That is the process capability ratio is much greater than 1. The process variability sigma is such that the process is in a state of statistical control. Then we also assume that the individual item values are such that they are normally distributed. Next slide, please. Now, as we can see in the figure above, that X denotes the distribution of individual item values, and we can see that it is normally distributed. USL and LSL that which specify the upper specification limits and lower specification limits respectively. Delta denotes the proportion of non-conforming items. Mu denotes the lowest allowable mean such that the proportion of non-conforming items below the LSL is delta. In a similar manner, mu u denotes the maximum allowable mean such that the proportion of non-conforming items above the USL is delta. Sigma denotes the process standard deviation and Z delta denotes a standard normal value which corresponds to a tail area of delta. Now, in order to understand Z delta better, let us look at this figure. Suppose z is a standard normally distributed variable, then z alpha is a point such that the area in its tail region is alpha. That is, probability of z greater than z alpha is alpha. And from symmetry, we can also write that probability of z less than minus z alpha is also alpha. Next slide, please. Now, in our case, for z delta, we can write from the figure above these two expressions as discussed earlier, that probability of z less than minus z delta equal to delta and probability of z greater than z delta equal to delta. Following this, we can write minus z delta equal to LSL minus mu L upon sigma and z delta equal to USL minus mu U upon sigma. These two expressions have been written in the using the standard procedure of writing z, that is the standard normal value equal to x minus mu by sigma. Note that the negative sign in case of minus z delta denotes that this value will lie on the left side of the standard normal distribution. Further, using this expression, we obtained mu L equal to LSL plus Z delta sigma and mu U equal to USL minus Z delta sigma. Now, we choose a type 1 error probability of alpha. We place our control limits now on an X bar chart, which has a standard deviation of sigma by root n, because this is the sampling distribution. Now, following similar procedure as was discussed in the previous slide, and considering a critical value of Z alpha, in this figure we can write the upper control limit UCL equal to mu u plus Z alpha times sigma by root n, and the lower control limit LCL equal to mu L minus Z alpha times sigma by root n. Now, by substituting these values, which we obtained earlier from mu L, for mu L and mu U into the control limit expressions, we get UCL equal to, that is the upper control limit, equal to USL minus Z delta minus Z alpha by root n times sigma, and LCL equal to LSL plus Z delta minus Z alpha by root n times sigma. Thus, we can see that the control limits of the modified control charts are obtained. The special feature, as can be noticed in this control limits, is that we are also accommodating the specification limits in control limits. Now, how to obtain sigma is a question. So we can answer it that sigma can be obtained using the R chart and S chart, and using the formula that sigma equal to R bar by D2 and S bar by or S bar by C4. Thank you. Now I would like Bhupen to take over the presentation.
Thank you, Mihir. I am going to take you through a solved example to understand how to construct a modified control chart and modified control limits. As Mihir said, we have to keep in mind our aim, which is to find a range for mu such that our process nonconformance lies in a range of delta with a type 1 error of alpha, which is given to us. Now in this problem, we need to find the nitrogen content of a certain fertilizer mix given delta, which is 1%, and alpha, which is 0.0026. Our specification limits are also given as 12 to 33%. Here we choose samples, 20 samples of size 5 each, and plot the sample average x bar and range r, as is shown in the chart here. Next, we construct an R chart first by calculating R bar, which we get as 1.99 from the table above. So here we get the center line of the R bar as 1.99, and from this we can get the UCL and LCL of the R chart as 4.207 and 0 respectively. Cross-checking all the range values with the values of the upper control and lower control limit, we find that the variability is in control. Now we calculate the modified control limits. For alpha is equal to 0.0026 and for delta is equal to 0.01, we find that the standard normal values Z alpha and Z delta are 2.79 and 2.33 respectively. We also get the estimate of process standard deviation sigma as R bar by D2, which comes out as 0.856. Thus, from the formula explained in the derivation, we can get the modified control limits UCL and LCL as 32.074 and 12.926 respectively, from which we can get mu L and mu U as 13.99 and 31.00. The interpretation of these limits are such that if our process mean mu lies between these values, we will have a modified control chart for which the processed non-conformance delta is equal to 0.01 with a type 1 error alpha is equal to 0.0026. Thank you, and now I would like Dan to take over.
Thank you, Bhupen. So, discussing about the use of modified control limits or the situation in which one should shift from standard control chart to a modified control chart. So, my friends have already stated this earlier that we use modified limits when process variability sigma is much smaller than the specifications given by designer or customer. Another situation could be when the cost of identifying and correcting any special cause is much higher than the cost of off-target product, which includes replacement cost, rework cost, and the cost of scrap. So this technically is said as cost benefit analysis and shown in the chart for the reference. And this means that the investment required to get given benefits is not justifiable against the cost of investment. Another in situation when the producer's aim is to just produce to fullest of its capability with little concern of the quality. So we are not ignoring the quality, but we have little concern of quality of product. And then we should use this wider modified limits. One more indication to shift from standard control chart to modified control chart is when the process mean keeps wandering and it is not stable. So when the mean keeps changing and when we can observe some pattern like steadily increasing or decreasing trend or cyclic pattern or some mixture pattern, then we should consider shifting to modified limits. Next slide. So let me put some distinguishing points about modified control limits. So first is the modified limits are only calculated for mean, and since the limits include the value of sigma, we need to simultaneously study R chart or S chart to estimate process variability. Another distinguishing point is this is the first time we are including specification limits to decide the control limits. Till now, control charts were purely based on process statistic and had no relation with the specification limits. Another is we have introduced a new driving parameter for modified limits, that is delta, which indicates the fraction of non-conforming items, that is items plotting outside specification limit. Another is the modified limits are very useful to ensure given product quality required and alongside having least interactions with the process or having least modifications applied to the process. This means that as long as actions are taken, sorry, previous slide, are taken whenever points plot outside our limits, we are ensuring that the products almost entirely within specifications with the error delta, and while standard limits just keep the scrap as low as possible. When some limitations of modified control charts are next slide. First, it will not produce the more stable products, and secondly, since the limits are wider, lesser instabilities are detected because we are ignoring the instabilities in the process. And we have also assumed the population follows normal distribution. Until now, the control limits were for samples, and we can safely assume normal distribution for samples at least. And we have also assumed process is in control and process variability R is known and has a constant value. So to tackle the normality assumption, we can take one step. Next slide. So first we can use the concept of safety factor. Here we can reduce the tolerance range itself by a factor, and consequently the range of modified limits will also reduce. And the common safety factor used is 2 by 3. Also we can use 2 sigma control limits instead of the standard 3 sigma control limits. And we can also include warning lines on our control chart. Next slide. One more variation is possible with the control limit because generally we had only one driving parameter. Here we have two driving parameters. So we can choose to have beta error also included as a driving parameter. but this is generally not recommended because of the limiting knowledge of required value of beta. And also when the alpha and beta are specified, sample size is to be found using relations given, and we are not free to choose sample size. And in case if tight values of alpha and beta are used, sample size can be unpractically large. I end over my part over here. Thank you.